Good evening and welcome to our monthly Rotary Foundation Matters webinar series. My name is Jeanette Loftus. I am the incoming Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator for Zone 34, and I will moderate this evening's webinar. Also joining us is the Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator for Zone 33, Paul Walter, who will moderate the Q&A segment of our webinar. Tonight, we will discuss the Rotary Foundation reports that are found in Rotary Club Central. You will hear from two club leaders with strategies and tips for how they use the reports to encourage giving to the Rotary Foundation in their clubs. Now, please join me in welcoming Patrick Eakes, our own Rotary International Director for Zones 33 and 34. Patrick is a member of the Rotary Club of Crescent, North Carolina in District 7690, Zone 33. At this time, I would like to ask Director Patrick to offer his opening comments.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. I appreciate that introduction and welcome everybody to this Zone 3334 Foundation Matters webinar because Rotary Foundation does matter. And happy first day of spring to everybody. I am glad that spring is here and I am counting on nothing but wonderful weather for the next many months. I'm sure that'll work out. Do want to feature a special event that's coming up and it's related to peace, one of our 7 areas of focus within the Rotary Foundation. You may be aware that we have 7 peace centers around the world that provide very high level education and experience to people who have demonstrated a commitment and talent within the area of peace. It really helps them level up their skills, be able to scale up the work that they're doing and take it to a whole new level. As I said, there are 7 of these peace centers worldwide. There's only one in North America, and it happens to be in Zone 33. So it's part of our paired zones. It's sponsored by Duke University and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. For those of you who are not big fans of sports, I will tell you that they are bitter rivals, but they work together to help prepare peace professionals that we then send out across the world to work for the betterment of our planet. Each spring, and you see on screen right now, each spring, they have a peace conference on the first Saturday of April each year. And in addition to what you see on screen, I'm dropping a link into the chat that will allow you to click for additional information and even to register if you'd like. This spring conference is an opportunity for the Peace Fellows to share their work, to talk about what they've been doing as part of pursuing their master's at either Duke or UNC Chapel Hill. I have been many times. It is truly inspiring each year, and you will see these peace professionals who work in a number of different areas for peace, and sometimes in areas you might not expect. But always you learn about their work and what they're going to be doing to work for peace, really for the rest of their careers, rest of their lives. So I encourage you to check that out, and if you can't do it this year, to look toward the first Saturday of April of 2026. So thanks for giving me a few minutes. I'm always glad to see this webinar, and I'm now glad to turn the microphone over to my friend and the Zone 34 Regional Rotary Foundation Coordinator, Sandra Hempstead. Sandra, take it away.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I am sitting in today for Katie Leisner, who is not able to be with us, and she is a wonderful resource for you, so we will be referring to her throughout the presentation. We're going to go through some of the Rotary reports for the Rotary Foundation. This is the welcome slide that you'll get when you sign into Rotary.org. And you'll notice if you scroll down that you can get to the membership and foundation reports. Once you select those reports, then you come to the next page, which gives you the contribution reports. And you're going to select the report that you would like under those contribution reports. And you'll see that there's quite a few there. So the club reports do come up. I've circled a couple of them. And I think there's a third one. There we go. You can also reach these by logging into Rotary Club Central. And if you log into Rotary Club Central, you'll select the box on the top left side, and you'll get to the same spot that we were just in with the other reports. So we're going to go through a couple of these reports this evening. The first one being the Club Fundraising Analysis. There we go. This is the report that's very recognizable because there's a bar chart right in the middle of it. This will give you 5 years of giving on one page, so we can see what the goals have been, what the total giving has been for the last 5 years to the annual fund. There's a bar chart which has the goals in gray. Dark blue has the total annual fund giving, and the light blue is your year-to-date giving. You can also see some information about donor recognition, sustaining members, Paul Harris eligible members, which are members who have given $1,000 and are eligible to be a part of the Paul Harris Society. Next page. And then moving on, we'll go to the club recognition summary. This is a report that many of the club foundation chairs will use. This is a great way to look at the recognition that's earned or soon to be earned for members of your club. Now, this report gives you club points and member points. It does not track cash giving. And the points that Rotary gives you, I liken it to a frequent buyer program maybe at a store, because every time you spend $1 giving to the Rotary Foundation, you will get a point. And those points can be accumulated for Paul Harris recognition, but they can also be given as a recognition to honor someone else, perhaps another individual in your club or someone who is not a Rotarian. So this report is a great way to look at who has given, but it is not the best way to look at the cash that they've given, because this combines both points for cash and points that may have been awarded in recognition for the Rotarian. You can also see Rotarians designated as Bequest Society members, where they've given a donation to the Rotary Foundation in their will, or major donors. And then moving on, we will look at the Club Foundation Banner Report. This is also a great report. It enables us to see a number of different things. We can see in the upper right corner the total amount that the club has given since its charter. And that's kind of a fun number to look at. I think some of you may be surprised at just how much your club has given to the Rotary Foundation and the impact your club has made through those gifts. So sometimes if you're getting a little close to a particular designation, whether it's 100,000 or 1,000,000, you will maybe want to do a challenge to your club to get there during the Rotary year. You can also track to see if your club qualifies for any of the Rotary Foundation recognition banners, which is of course why it's called the Banner Report. So it might be an E-Ray banner, it might be a sustaining member banner. You can also see members that are Paul Harris Society eligible, are in the Paul Harris Society, and those that are using Rotary Direct. And Rotary Direct is the way that members can donate to the Rotary Foundation by going online and making an online donation. It can be a one-time donation, or it can be a regular donation. It can be $85 a month, for example, to earn a Paul Harris, or it can be a quarterly donation. And I've got a couple of other things to share with you. This is a new annual fund resource, which gives you a really high-level 4-page quick reference guide for the Rotary Foundation. It's something that would be great to have on your phone in case you need to impromptu make a presentation, or in case you have a question and you'd like to look up the answer very quickly. I'm going to stop here for just a second. There is a QR code here, and if you'd like to aim your phone towards that QR code, then you will be able to get a copy of this particular resource for you to save on your phone. And moving on, there are individual recognition that I'm going to go through a few of these here that are given to club members. And it's really important for club presidents to provide recognition when members give. Members give in a thoughtful way. Members give into an area that is most meaningful to them. So it's really important for us to recognize those clubs and those members and those gifts. The club recognition, moving on, can help to unite your club around around really seeing what your club can accomplish by what they've done. And this is, these are some of the club banners that you might see for your club. These banners can be presented by your district governor. They can be presented at a meeting, and they can be used to rally your club to really get spirit of giving in your club, because your club has earned something, a banner as a group. And finally, the last slide here is foundation recognition points for Paul Harris Fellows. And I want to point out that there are Paul Harris Fellow +8 is the highest Paul Harris Fellow. That means that they have given just $9,000. And the following 1,000 would make someone a major donor. And again, this would need to be cash giving to $10,000 as a major donor. And finally, there's a great place to find forms, and there's so much that you can find on Rotary.org. So take a look when you sign in. You'll be able to see that you can find forms for giving there. You can find all kinds of information. And there's one other resource that I want to share before I end, and that is the Rotary Contact Center. It's contact.rotary@rotary.org. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to welcome our next speaker, and that is Michael Binns. Michael is with the Rotary Club of Western Henrico County in Zone 33. And Michael, it's your turn. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Sandra. Again, my name is Michael Binns. I am a member of the Western Henrico Rotary Club in Richmond, Virginia, and I've been working with our club's Rotary Foundation for many years. As Sandra showed you, the first thing you want to do is you want to log into My Rotary, then you scroll down to Member and Foundation Reports. Then go to Club Reports, which is under Contributions and Recognition. There are two reports that I use regularly in my fundraising effort: the Club Recognition Summary and the Club Banner Report. With the Club Recognition Summary Report, first you have to double click on to the year 2024-25. With the Club Banner Report, you have to click on to the year and to the month. Once you get to the Club Recognition Summary Report, the first thing that I do is look at the date of last donation. You look down that column. For instance, for this year, if the date is the date of giving is June 2024 or before, this member has not donated this year and needs a personal prompt from you, such as, Joe, we're getting toward the end of the Rotary year. Can we count on you for a $100 contribution to the Rotary Foundation so the club can reach our goal to be 100% sustaining club? If they say they aren't financially able at the moment, try to get them to give a $25 donation so the club can achieve 100% every Rotarian every year. If they can't get that, you or someone in the club who is financially able may want to donate $25 to $100 in the name of that member to achieve the club's goal and help your president get the annual citation. Next, the club recognition summary. You can take a look at member recognition amount to see how much a member needs to contribute to get to the next Paul Harris level. You may say, hey, Joe, I was looking at the Club Foundation reports yesterday and noticed that you need a $175 donation to the foundation to get to your next level. It would be great if you can achieve your next level this year. Now, let's go back to the club recognition summary report and look at member B. This individual has 45,778 unused recognition points. Obviously, not using their points to the best advantage. You could ask that member if you can use some of their points to do a matching campaign. Members that donate X amount can get a one-to-one match. You can put a time or a amount limit on for the matching campaign. Member B can also give recognition points to the district for a matching fundraiser, such as our District 7600's Giving Tuesday, which is coming up soon. Remember, points can get a member to the next level up to +8, but points cannot get a member to a major donor level. Major donor level status requires a cumulative donation of $10,000 to become a Paul Harris major donor. Let's talk about a few other fundraising avenues. Club fundraisers. Let's say you have a club fundraising function for the local YMCA. Our club, Western Henrico, allows members to specify for these major fundraiser events that a member's donation can be directed to the Rotary Foundation. That is something your club board can decide. We do that for our annual golf tournament for college scholarships and a club special dinner fundraisers at the local country club for local charities. Again, you can have a minimum. Now let's go back to the club recognition summary. On the far right is the column Rotary Direct that Sandra had talked about earlier. These members can give a monthly donation using a credit card. Suggest early in the Rotary year, early July, that members set up a monthly contributions with the Rotary Foundation. A $10 monthly donation nets $120 a year. That avenue is good for younger, newer members or someone who may be experiencing financial difficulties. In the Club Banner Report, there are two columns that I would like to discuss. Paul Harris Society Eligible Achieved and Paul Harris Society. If a member has reached Paul Harris Society Eligible Achieved, you may be able to discuss with a member joining the Paul Harris Society. An annual gift of $1,000 is the goal to be a Paul Harris Society member. If you can't do it every year, you can't do it 1 year, you're not going to be removed. It's a $1,000 goal. It's a personal goal for you each year. Now let's talk a little bit about recognition. Donor recognition is very, very important. Always make sure donors are recognized when they get to the next level. There is a link which is hopefully popping up on the screen that has lots of Rotary Foundation tidbits. For member recognition, talk for a minute or two about the foundation, and afterwards have the donor come up to the front and receive their new pin and have the club congratulate them. And don't forget Polio Plus and the Polio Plus Society, a member that commits to $100 annual donation to Polio Plus. The Polio Plus report shows you where your club is in relation to club goals. If anyone has any questions, send them in and we will try to answer them at the end. With that, I'm going to pass on to Donald Fountain from the Rotary Club of Glenville in Georgia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Greetings from the Rotary Club of Glenville and District 6920. Sandra and Michael did an excellent job emphasizing the reports, how to get them, how to use them in your club. I'm going to take a little different approach here, and I'll talk about how our club has been a long-term and consistent contributor to the Rotary Foundation, both the annual fund and Polio Plus. I'll talk about how I, as the foundation chair, use the reports to target and meet individually, one-on-one with our members each year to try to set up a plan for them to give to the foundation. And then the final slide you'll see will talk a little bit about the impact that the leadership of the club and the foundation chair has on individual contribution and club contributions to the foundation. So the slide you see up now, I'll just talk about a couple of bullet points on that. First, I've been the foundation chair for about a little over 25 years now. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but at least it's been consistent and our members know what to expect year after year. 100% of our members are sustaining members, so that means our club is a sustaining member club. And that's due to the fact that part of our members' dues include $25 per quarter to the Rotary Foundation. So every member is going to give at least $100 for that particular Rotary year. The other thing that I'll mention is as far as being consistent and having the giving to the Rotary Foundation as one of our top goals of our club is the Blankenship Cup. The Blankenship Cup was named for a past president, a past district governor of District 6920. And we awarded that Blankenship Cup to the club with the highest per capita giving over the previous 3 years. Our club has held that cup for 7 consecutive years up until last year, when we were beat out by another club that had the past 2 district governors from that club, and they really wanted to take over that cup, and they finally succeeded. But hopefully we'll be in the running again this year and maybe can reclaim that. Next slide. So the way we've achieved some of these honors and keep our focus on the Rotary Foundation and individual members giving to the foundation is by using this club recognition summary report. So the way I use it is, first, if we have a new member or maybe a member that's been in the club a few years that hasn't achieved Paul Harris Fellow status yet, I'll meet with a member, try to find out how much they feel like they can give in cash. The club will match that amount in cash, and if they still aren't at the $1,000 level, then we have various members, and our club has some points that we'll give to get that member to the Paul Harris Fellow level. And we've been successful in doing that because our club has achieved, became a Paul Harris Fellow club for the first time in 2011, 2012. Then we did it a second time in 21, 22. Another way I use it is for members that, are close to the next level Paul Harris Fellow. So I'll meet with that member individually, try to paint a a clear picture for them, how much they will need to get to the next, recognize them at our annual awards and installation banquet. And they'll be part of that award by moving to the next Paul Harris Fellow level. And you can see some of the other major milestones we've achieved. We have, we try to target major donors. We have 12 major donors in our club now, and we also like to keep our club informed as to, our giving to the foundation, how many major donors we have, how many Rotary Direct donors. And then we use the club district banner report, to track some of the things you saw earlier, and to also use the district banner report to understand where we rank in the district as far as the Blankenship Cup. Next slide. Then finally, I'll just bring out a few key points here on the impact that the club president and the foundation chair has on, club giving every year. We set goals in our Rotary Club, and we get them keyed into Rotary Club Central. We try to understand what the district's goals are and where our club fits into those district goals, and try to help ensure that the district can meet their goals and our club can meet our goals. We hold any number of information meetings during the year, talking about the foundation in general, talking about specific parts of the Rotary Foundation, whether it's the annual fund, Polio Plus, or the World Fund. And I'll conclude by saying that I think it's very important that your foundation chair is proactive. Most members don't really know where they are, at least in our club, most members couldn't tell you where they stand as far as giving to the foundation. But a good foundation chair is going to meet with those members, as Michael stated earlier, let them know where they stand, how far they are from the next level, paint a good picture so that they can feel good about their giving, help them to understand that not only is it helping, our district, our club, but it's doing a lot of good, throughout the world. And, that's something that I think as Rotarians, we all take a lot of pride in, is doing good locally and globally. So with that, I'll conclude and turn it over to Paul Walter.
Thank you, Donald. Now we have time for questions from Sandra, Michael, and Donald. While you're putting your questions in the Q&A box, I'd like to thank our presenters this evening. I appreciate you sharing your field-tested strategies and tips for using the Rotary Foundation reports to encourage giving. Now we have one action item. It's a simple one. Encourage your clubs and its members to give to the Rotary Foundation in a way that's meaningful to them. So I'd like to begin with the Q&A segment by thanking my colleagues Bernie Rydell and Dave Roush, who are assisting me in curating the questions this evening. So our first question is for Sandra. Our incoming DG does not want us to tie the MOU for grants to be tied to giving. So our incoming DG does not want us to tie the MOU for grants to be tied to giving. How would you answer that?
Well, each district has the ability to handle their district designated funds for grants, and will need to sign an MOU. It does not in the MOU tie giving to the grants. But of course, we know that the Rotary Foundation encourages members to give to the grants that they are sponsoring. So I'm not exactly sure what the question is, but I would acknowledge the fact that that the districts do each have a different way that they handle grants. Every district, there's 540 in the world, and honestly, there's probably 540 different ways of doing things. So respect the district's wishes and also understand that any Rotarian can make a gift to the foundation through a specific grant.
Thank you. Michael, how would you recommend discussing foundation giving with a member that has never given or never donated to the Rotary Foundation, or perhaps, hasn't donated this year, this Rotary year?
Well, first of all, I would bring up to them the fact that they haven't given. And I would ask them if there's any sort of financial problem why they cannot give this year. And I would also remind them that the main thing our club is after is participation in not only the club events and things like that. They're not there just to give money. We want your membership effort to be working with our events and things like that, because some people, certain times, like I said earlier, just are not able to pay at the time. But we do remind them that our goal as Rotarians is to collect money for the foundation in order that we can do these projects, these local projects and these global projects that are helping people that need an effort a whole lot more than we do personally, being Rotarians. So I guess that's a roundabout way of saying, if they're able to, remind them that part of their reason for being Rotarian is to help, but also help financially. But if they're in a tight spot at the time, then we don't push them.
Thank you. Donald, what are some best practices that club leadership could use to keep members better informed about the Rotary Foundation and why it's important?
Well, some of the best practices that our club follows is we'll have at least one program a quarter that focuses on the Rotary Foundation, some part of it. And either myself or some other member of the club that is knowledgeable of the foundation or some part of the Rotary Foundation, whether it's Polio Plus or works in the global grants area, will present those programs. We try to highlight, our major projects that we use our DDG funds for, which in our district, part of that money obviously comes back to the district. The club gets some of that money back to the club, and that's depending on what you gave to the foundation 3 years earlier. So we just try to make sure that they all have a good understanding of what they're giving, the good it's doing locally, globally, how it's coming back to our community, impacting our schools, our children, those that are, that have other needs in our local community. So education, I would say, in summary.
Thank you. Sandra, we have a question. Will we ever have reports that show club member giving to Polio Plus and or Polio Plus Society?
Well, we do have reports at the district level that do show Polio Plus and Polio Plus and the annual fund, all of it together. And I think it might have been Michael that pulled up a club polio giving report. And perhaps, Michael, would you like to share a little bit more about that report?
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me, but basically the Polio Plus report will give you, well, you're, first of all, at the beginning of the year, your club makes the goals of how much you're going to give to the Polio Plus based on what you've done in the past and what you hope to do. But you can go on there on the report anytime and see where you are in relation to your club and where you are in relation to the rest of the clubs in the district. So, I mean, you can't get a individual dollar amount for each member, but you can at least get the a club number for the year and in relation to the other clubs.
And Paul, if I could add one more thing, each member can go into their individual report online. So as a member, you can see how much you've given and what designation you've given it to. So if you've given to polio or annual fund or something else, you can see that when you log into Rotary.org.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Sandra, we have one more. You're popular here. How many clubs in Zone 34 have achieved Promise Club level?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Okay.
I'll have to find that out for you.
And then there's an additional one in the Q&A about the QR code. Is that possible to put that in the chat, or is there a way, what's the best way for us to get that to them if they were unable to take it with their phone while you had it up?
It's back a few slides, Carolyn. It's in Katie's slides. We'll try to get it for you.
Okay. How about, let's see here, a few other questions we have, just a minute or two more for. Let's see, Donald, what qualities should you look for in a club foundation chair? You've been doing this for, how'd you say, 25 years?
Yeah, probably at least somewhere around there. Well, I think a foundation chair has to be someone that's, knowledgeable, respected by the club, is a person that, leads by example. So you're not going to ask anybody to do anything that you haven't done prior yourself. And we don't want to hassle our members. So I try to make it as personal as I can and just speak with the individual members and try to help them understand the importance of giving and, the fact that it just does so much good. And, we're there to help them along and encourage them and answer any questions they have. So I just think probably lead by example and, make sure you have a good rapport with all your members.
Again, thank you all for your time tonight, and thank you for helping us to do good in the world. I'm going to turn it over to Jeanette.
Well, thank you. And I'd like to give a big thank you to each of our speakers this evening. Sandra, Michael, and Donald shared some valuable ideas for you to take back to your clubs on how to use TRF, Rotary Foundation resources, to increase giving across your clubs. Don't forget to record your club activities through a link located on the Foundation Matters drop-down box on the RI Zones 3334 webpage. You will receive an email with a link to the recording of tonight's webinar, along with a link to register for future webinars. Please also note that these items and more can be found on the RI Zones 3334 webpage in the drop-down box for the Rotary Foundation. Look for Foundation Matters. Our next webinar is scheduled for April 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be a special session on setting club goals for the Rotary Foundation. So I would encourage club presidents, club foundation chairs to all attend that. In addition, we have a special opportunity for clubs and individuals who are working on global grants to compete in a Shark Tank competition at the upcoming Zones 33-34 Summit in Jacksonville, Florida on September 13th. So this is designed for those who are submitting global grants to the Rotary Foundation. And it's a great way to help gain support for your project and gain some more information. So look for information that will be forthcoming and will be sent to the club presidents. And as a reminder, as you exit this webinar this evening, you'll receive a quick pop-up survey. Please feel free to provide your feedback on tonight's webinar. Thank you again for joining us. This concludes our webinar. Have a nice evening.